I want to talk about educational inequality, and to do so, I borrowed some slides from Design and Technology reports. I've adapted it in a number of ways to suit my purposes, but basically it's showing education as a tree of knowledge. So this is representing the school, and we have the haves, the one who get all the bounty from the tree of knowledge, and those that don't. And one adaptation I'll make right away is to add there's a lot more of those than the ones who actually benefit from our present system. Okay, so we're looking at equality. So equality, if we consider it as evenly distributed tools and assistance, what we're talking about here is not step ladders, but research, the identification of and dissemination of evidence about what works, and typically the high value is put on those studies that are randomized controlled trials that provide probabilistic evidence, and it's really addressing the average child. What it fails to do is to address those who are not the average child, who don't necessarily have the resources within their school to actually benefit from that knowledge, and who may be marginal in many other cultural and environmental terms, in poverty, for example. So it doesn't work. An equity perspective is where the resources are providing some compensation. So this is the kind of perspective that's reflected in the Family Hub's government policy at the moment, and they provide for additional resources for birth to 19, evidence-based practice support for practitioners, and there was 500 million committed recently to provisions by 2028. In comparison to Sure Start, of course, that's nothing. It's a drip in the ocean. 2.5 billion at its peak in 2012. But the problem with this, anyway, is that the tree itself is the unequal part, and that's the point that the original slides were addressing. All the fruit is on one side, and what you require to achieve justice is to rebalance the tree. So fix the system rather than try to fix the children gaining access to it. So justice in schools requires correction of the institutional biases in the selection and presentation of knowledge. And that was very strongly studied back in the day by Basil Bernstein and Pierre Bourdieu.